promise. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
What's funny is when I think about this YouTube thing, I think about all the rules that they have and the things that you can and can't do, the types of things that'll get you banned and get you removed from the platform. I have to think about the levels of strictness, between IG, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, in order to be able to navigate safely.
Yes.
Because it's one thing if you say something wrong, you get a warning.
Yes.
But what makes me nervous at this point is that, let's say I have a message that I want to deliver. If that message goes against, a certain thing, I can find myself in the same Kanye or Kyrie kind of situation. You understand?
You're a little more, I'm going to be honest, you're a little more tactful in your words and in your words than they are. I'm sorry. They just they comes out and just say what the hell they want to say. At some point in life, it don't matter what position you hold, what job you hold. And when you get older, and especially when you in your 40s, you know how to say what you want to say, mean what you want to say in a tactful way.
True. Now remember, I can't take away from when you mentioned Kanye and Kyrie. I can't take away from them because at the end of the day, regardless of you looking at them as a producer / rapper / fashion guy, and you look at the other one as a basketball player, what makes them extra special is not just the talent. That talent that they have puts them at a higher tier than most people that have talent. But the thing is, with the two of them, they're both revolutionaries.
True.
It can be just one of them in a room with 1,800 people. Kanye may be the one that disagrees with all the other 1,799, and Kyrie does the same thing. And it's unequivocal. They're not ashamed about it. They keep it real. This is how I feel. And what's the point of having fuck you money if you can't say fuck you? It's crazy the way people's words are being stifled. I'm starting to see the groundswell coming right now where a lot of the industry is starting to speak up on Kyrie's behalf, speak up on Kanye's behalf. Because there's a thing, it's called the Streisand effect. And it was named after Barbra Streisand. And what it was Barbra Streisand had this home and was overlooking a cliff. It was like a cliffside home and one of the only ones that was in that area. And there was some helicopter people, some photographers. They had taken a photo of the home. And what she did is she went and sued and did a cease and desist and tried to create a lawsuit to prevent them from publishing the pictures because she wanted to keep her home private. Well, those are public records. So all of a sudden now she's trying to keep her crib a secret. Now you got all kind of press popping up because now they know the address because her going to file a lawsuit and she's big. Barbra Streisand is huge, And so now it brought all of the attention. It literally created what she didn't want for it to create. So they call that the Streisand effect. Let's say the powers that be that Kanye or Kyrie are referring to they don't want to be named. You know, there was a term when they said the biggest trick that the devil ever played on mankind was making them think he didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
When you go do a little digging and you go pull up the definition of anti-Semitism, it doesn't simply speak about people that have a disdain for those of a particular faith. It doesn't state a lot of the stuff that people assume. But one of the things in terms of the definition, which is a new definition, they said anti-Semitism is considered something as simple as you recognizing that a Jewish person is in power, you recognizing the depth of the powers of the American Judeo community, as well as the Zionist movement, as well as, you know, the Jews living in Israel. The powers that be that folks get in trouble for mentioning in terms of sanctioning those people that mention anything, what they're doing is showing the power. Mm-hmm. They're literally flexing that power. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The fact that Kyrie and Kanye get spanked, Kanye loses billions in terms of net worth. Yeah, we understand it's not tangible, but what it is those billions of his net worth also have to do with how much money he can generate for a particular company, not how much he takes away. So
they don't want to come out. They don't want nobody to talk about it, but they're flexing their muscle about how they can punish us, and heavy is the hand they punish us.
Yeah, listen, punishment. You said it. Some people like to use the term buck breaking.
Yes, I heard that.
So you familiar with what buck breaking is?
Yeah, you take the one who is the problematic child, and you break them, and the other people will fall in line.
That you take the biggest and strongest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's just like when folks talk about if you go to prison or penitentiary or whatever, and they say, you know, if you're going to be there for a minute, you need to go and find you the biggest, baddest person that they look to, and you try to take their head off because, you know, he's the big buck. And when you're able to break a buck, everybody else falls in line because they don't want to go through what that buck had to go through. Mm-hmm. You know? Of course, we got TCHBCU Queen TV in the spot. What's good, man?
What's good, bro? What's good?
Chilling. How are you?
I'm good. What's good? Just Andrea.
I'm doing good. I'm up late at night, okay?
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not gonna let you slide by and not answer my question because you asked a question about the buck and Andrea answered the question. Are you alluding to the fact that Kanye and Kyrie are bucks?
Great question. I'll answer that. So remember, when you're a buck, the buck doesn't mean that, you know, the buck, all it does is it means that you are a particular, let's say, a slave that has a high degree of notoriety and resonance amongst your people, which means that people know you. You're somewhat famous on the quote unquote plantation. You don't have to actually be the big, super strong buck. But when we look at the things that make people strong, or what makes people considered strong, resources, creativity, resiliency, talent, those are the things that people look at that make that they consider making you strong. So when the powers that be wish to break a particular buck, they break the ones that's the most powerful. They're not worried about the regular Joe Schmo because nobody knows them. But the buck is the one that may be the rich one, maybe the famous one. Doesn't have to be big, strong, and muscular. That's just a metaphor. But within the situation, if you look at what's going on right now, them doing everything that they can to, divest Kanye of his income. What's going on with the NBA in terms of the things and the hoops that they're trying to make Kyrie jump through, even though it's obvious they knew he wasn't going to acquiesce to all of those 7 demands that they had. That's why he's already done his 5-game suspension. But now we're looking at 7 games. So what they're doing is metaphorically buck breaking. They're showing you Negroes better shut the fuck up and don't talk about that stuff that you're talking about. Look what we did to the guy that was a multi-billionaire, talented multi-billionaire. Look what we did to the talented multi-millionaire. It happens. So in that situation, if you ask me, do I consider Kanye and Kyrie bucks in that situation? Abso-freaking-lutely, because they're being used as examples. The slave master didn't really care about the buck. The slave master cared about making an example. And if they beat the shit out of the buck, what took place was all of the people that were not as big as the buck stayed in line because even the buck got it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the buck stuff. Yeah. So I guess it's all interpretation. We can always agree to disagree. I look at Kanye as weak. I look at him as resources in terms of billions of dollars, making money and things of that nature. I consider him and Kyrie just to be very weak. People have
Why?
Because money doesn't make you strong.
No. You said that you look at them as weak. So my question to you is, what makes them weak to you?
Because they drank from that cup.
What cup?
They drank from the master's cup.
What is that? What does that mean?
Drank
because
from
they
the
became
master's
rich?
cup. They did everything that they were supposed to do according to the master, the way that the master wanted him to do it.
No, I don't think so.
And
I don't think so.
Yeah,
if you look at Kyrie, even Andrea said she hadn't liked Kyrie for a long time. Kyrie has always bucked the system. Yes. Kyrie has always been the person that has thought differently. Kyrie has always been the person that it'll be him and 999 other people in the room. And he thought differently, and he didn't allow those 999 people to change him. Kanye didn't move with the system. Kanye has always moved to the beat of his own drum. Remember years ago when Kanye said George Bush doesn't care about black people? Everybody.
But he's not the only one.
But that's not what I'm saying. You're saying he's not the only one, but he was the biggest one. He was the biggest one to say it at that time. Nobody else was saying it when that stuff was going on.
No, everybody was saying it. George Bush was the Antichrist. Everybody was saying it. He got it from everybody.
So you know,
just like this.
There's nobody that spoke out the way that he's. Come on now.
Everybody was speaking out. Everybody, Chef was speaking out against George Bush.
I think you just don't like Kanye.
Daddy Bush.
So far,
no, because
I think you don't like Kanye.
You give this guy too much and these people too much credit. Like they're the only ones to say stuff. No, they're not. They get it from. They've gotten it from regular people.
Tell me somebody else that says it. Because remember,
Farrakhan said it.
Yeah, but you see, okay. Look what you just said. You said Farrakhan said that.
A bunch of
Farrakhan has already been marginalized. He's already been marginalized. He's already been considered, you know, they said that what he was doing is hate speech, even though we know it's not the fact.
No, he didn't stop. He never stopped, though.
I didn't say he stopped. I never said he stopped. I said he's been marginalized. When you're marginalized, what that means is it doesn't mean that you're stopped. What it means is that the people paint you into a particular corner.
Okay.
So they try to say that you're an aggravator of problems. They try to say that you're this or that, and they fit you and affix you with a label so that when you do come and say something that's salient or that actually means something, what happens is folks are not going to listen because they say, oh, he's that extremist. So when they marginalize you, that's what they do. Kanye was not marginalized. Kanye is he had the top 5 people that have Grammys in the world, right? He's one of the top 3. He has about 22 Grammys now, right? But the thing is,
what does that mean? Nothing.
I mean, you got to let me land the plane. I can explain to you. What I'm stating to you is they marginalized Farrakhan. So when you say that, oh, he's not saying anything different than Farrakhan, Farrakhan has been marginalized. White people and white children purchase Kanye's clothing, his music, and all of that. So guess what? You don't get those white kids in Bel Air and Beverly Hills and all across the country tuning in to pull up to listen to a fucking Farrakhan speech.
That's not true. That's not true either, because there are a myriad of those people that listen to Farrakhan. Yes, it is.
Okay, now you're being disingenuous. Hold on one second. Listen to what I just said. Hold on one second. Listen to what I just said. Kanye will sell 5, 6, 7 million albums. Okay. You don't, and his music is getting purchased, and I'm just talking about U.S. numbers. You got people across the entire world that are purchasing his music, downloading his music, playing it, studying it. Okay. All of those people around the world, and I'm talking about white people, people that are conservatives, people that are conservative Christians, will listen to Kanye, and they will. And the children of the power class listening to Kanye, they're not listening to Farrakhan.
Yes, they are, and yes, they have.
So now at this point,
they have. And Farrakhan went over and got POWs out of various countries that folk couldn't even get him out of.
I mean, what you're doing right now, you're mixing
but first of all,
I remember Farrakhan is important.
Farrakhan is an accomplished violinist. They're 2 different people. They sell 2 different products. The bottom line is that Kanye sells his music and that stuff, and Farrakhan has always been about his advocacy. So
question for you then,
Kanye
because
has
you said
not.
that he's not a
Kanye just got into the advocacy because now it's not benefiting him, because now they're getting on him. He's got a little bit of information, and he's done got caught up.
You're saying caught up? What he's saying is right
the information is not new.
Is what Kanye said right or wrong?
Not new. We've always known that stuff.
The point. That's not the point.
It is.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep asking you until you answer it. Is what Kanye said right or wrong?
The information we've already known, and the information is not new. So the bottom line is that we've been saying this. We've been saying what he said for years.
The fact you refuse to answer the question.
The information that he has is not new. He's not the first one to ever say it. We've been saying it for years.
You know I'm gonna clip this, right? So I'm gonna ask you again, and I'm gonna
Dr. Ben.
Hold on one second.
Dr. James Small, Dr. Francis Presswell, Farrakhan, the rest of them, all of them have said it,
all of those
and not just them.
Those people
Bobby
that purchased
Seals,
Kanye's music,
Rap Brown, Angela Davis, Marimba Ani, all of them have all. They said that, or they said no, not Nikki. Nikki was a poet. But the bottom line is,
I'm talking about the forward thinkers of the black
Kanye,
community.
we've had folks in New York say this all the time, bro. And you know that.
I'm gonna keep asking you the question. Those people you mentioned, the children,
the
white
advocates have been saying this.
So I'm gonna ask you again.
We're not anti-Semites.
Okay,
we are not.
I never said that we are. What I'm asking you was what Kanye said right or wrong? Was it true or false? Is my question to you.
The information that he received is absolutely correct.
Okay, so
about 400 years late.
Hold on a second. Out of everybody that's had a voice that's out there, who had a voice that deep, that was able to say that without being denigrated?
How do you know that folks had not been denigrated? You haven't lived generations.
That's not what I said.
Everybody has been denigrated.
You missing the question. You didn't. Then that means you ain't understand the question.
I understand. I understand absolutely.
So I'm gonna ask it again because
who hasn't? He's not the first.
That's not what I said. What I said was, who do you know that is as large as Kanye that has said what he said without having a problem? Who is my question?
Oh no, they've all had problems. Just like Kanye.
I said as big as Kanye.
They've all had problems. My big and your big.
What billionaires? You see what I'm saying? What billionaires do you know that were able to speak, that spoke what Kanye has spoken? Name one billionaire.
Well, first of all, wait a minute. You know, and I know that as in African Americans, there have been just recently, we've had millionaires, but now we have billionaires. So being a billionaire is a recent phenomenon. But in terms of Black people speaking out and saying, influential Black people speaking out and saying what he said, they have been, and they did, and they all took a hit for it.
So what issue do you have? I think you got something personal with Kanye.
I do not. I don't know.
You do, because what
no,
it is
I don't.
Is that
just because I have a difference of opinion, that doesn't mean, and don't paint it like I have something against the ding dong. Here's the thing: I don't know him.
Remember, I got to clip
what
this,
I do say is this: that his billionaire status doesn't mean anything. I'm talking about the information. He's not the first one. Here's my thing. If we've had, listen, here's the thing. If we've already had examples of people, if we've already had examples of people who did not have billions of dollars, and they also got hit, and they were also, taken, I guess you could say, expelled. They were taken off the grid, the whole 9 yards, and they didn't even have billions of dollars. What did Ding Dong think that he was going to do? And he has billions of dollars. They're going to take it all from him because it's not his stream of income. It's not his stream of income.
You called him Ding Dong.
Because
you called him Ding Dong because you got something against him.
It would tell you that if they got it, then he would get it too.
What does that mean?
Even in the YouTube streets, we're smart enough, at least in the beefing sector, we're smart enough to know that you get it, somebody over here got it, you gonna get it too.
So you just don't like Kanye. I'm not.
No, that's not true. Don't say that because I have said to you that I don't know him. I can't say that I don't like him or I dislike him. That is immature, and that is immature, and that is not educated. I would not do that. HBCU Queen would not ever do that. I don't know him. I think his actions were
you said Kanye is your words were Kanye.
I call him a ding dong. That doesn't mean that I don't like him or I do like him. That just means that I think that his behavior was less than mature. He was very immature about what he did. And the bottom line is that his information wasn't anything different than what other people have already spewed out. So he didn't have to spew it out. We've already known it.
So he shouldn't have said it then.
I mean, he could have said it, but I mean, what did he think was going to happen? We already know what's going to happen.
So do you believe that it was
we
right?
already know what's going to happen. Why? So what?
Was it right?
Like, the information is, of course, is right. We know that it's right.
No. You're missing what I asked you. What they were doing to him, is that right?
Oh, of course. Listen, of course not. I don't think it's right.
Okay, so then
of course not.
So do you believe that Kyrie situation was not buck breaking? And if you're not familiar with it, I can bring you up to speed. But the Kyrie Irving, you don't think that's buck breaking as well, where they're making him jump through several hoops?
I don't consider him a buck, but keep it up. I mean, yeah.
I mean, what do you consider a buck? Because honestly, I understand in terms of my collegiate studies and understanding the whole concept of a buck, okay, in terms of where it originated from, it was the biggest, strongest, most popular.
Yeah, I don't consider them
most beloved slave that had a high degree of visibility amongst the plantation. Same thing with Kanye and Kyrie. And they said something, and because they said something, which they've
been on what plantation?
You reportedly.
What plantation have they been on?
All right. At this point, listen, I know what I'm talking about, and I know the way that it works, okay? When I'm giving you a metaphor, and what I'm stating is that I'm connecting it to the previous. I didn't say they're slaves. What I'm stating is that.
I know this is a metaphor that you're using. And I know that, but they still haven't been on the metaphoric plantation either. They still
mean? They exist, right?
They exist. That's it. They exist, and they exist in those other people's worlds, and that's who their reality lies. That's where their reality lies. That's it. So they don't hang with you. They don't hang with us.
That's what does that mean when you say they don't hang with you? They don't hang with us.
They don't hang with African American people who are educated, middle class people who keep it going.
Wait, who said? What do you mean by they don't? Who tells you that? Where do you get that information from? That they don't hang with middle class people.
I have Kyrie and Kanye. I have not seen them at all.
I've never met Kyrie Irving. I've met Kanye, but when you make the statement that
I have not seen them in the circles.
Do you realize that before Kanye became famous, he was a middle class person, right?
Yeah.
Right. So when you say that they don't mix with middle class people, you're making what's happening is that this point. Hold on a second.
Right. They still don't.
It's almost as though you're vilifying them because they've become rich.
No, absolutely not. Because anyone knows that I wouldn't do that. However,
what gives you the impression that they don't kick it with anybody that is middle class? What gives you that impression?
Their behavior. Because just like Lamont and some other people, they would have been given the right advice as to why are you going out talking about this?
Mark Lamont.
Why? Yeah. Just like with Lamont and a couple of other people.
When you say Lamont, I want to make sure it's the same person. Mark Lamont Hill.
Dr. Lamont
Hill, yeah.
So when he had a situation, we explained to him, you don't have to prove anything to them.
I'm still trying to listen.
There's no reason anyone who would have been in Kanye and Kyrie's circle would have told them, we already know this, bro. You don't have to go around and try to prove anything to anyone. We know this.
Okay, so you just hating because they actually came out and said it, and you've heard other people who said it before, but it's like at this point, first of
all, I don't hate anybody. So please don't say that. No, don't say those things because that's we don't say that.
But listen, when I say
Nobody
hate,
hates
first of all, I'm not
anybody. I
talking
know,
about
but
you
that's
having hatred.
I
I'm
know.
not
I
talking
don't
about
have
you having
hatred like
hatred.
that. I don't
But
know
the thing
that.
is,
I don't know those things, and
it's
that's not my stilo, bro.
it's not make the thing is what's
And you
not
should know that, and you should know that better when you have a conversation with me. Now,
but
I don't know about any of the other people that you have conversation with, but I don't hate.
that's
I'm
not it.
having a discourse with you. No,
No,
no, it's
I
not
understand.
evidently anything.
What
We are
it is
having
that,
discourse,
but
and
what it is the only thing you're saying.
you have a particular way that you look at things, and I have mine, and
No,
it's
I
and it's
understand that,
okay.
and I'm trying to. But the thing
But
is, I'm
don't see
trying to
what you're doing.
understand.
But don't say I hate. And I've said to you, I
When
don't
I
hate
use the
them.
term hate, first of all, when I use the term hate, you understand what a colloquialism is.
Yeah, but I
Hold on one
understand that
second.
there are
Hold on
people
one
out
second.
here.
So when I use the
You were
term
on,
hate,
but no, you're on
I'm not
YouTube, and
talking
this
about
is
hatred.
you're on
You know what I
YouTube,
mean
and
when I
we
say
gotta.
you
But
hating
I
on
want to make it
somebody.
very clear. I want to make it very clear because this is media, social media, and I want to make it very clear for the generations to come. Okay, I don't, and that is not my stilo because I don't hate anybody.
Okay.
I just think that the way what he did, what both of them did, was not necessary, and it wasn't necessary
So
because
you prefer
when
that
you
they
do
would have
those
just.
things, we
What did
already
Kyrie
know
do? So I'm going
what
to ask you, what did
he
Kyrie do? All he did
because
was retweet something.
right.
So right. So what
You
was it
don't
that
have
he
to.
did that was? But he
And
retweet. First of all, wait. Hold on a second.
he retweeted
There was something.
information that he didn't.
He did not retweet information.
He
Okay.
retweeted.
Somebody, hold on
Tweeted.
one second. Do you use Twitter?
I have, but I don't now. No,
Okay. So are you experienced with Twitter? Is my
I
question.
have. I used to be, but I do not. I have
Okay.
not been in a minute.
All right.
No.
So when you go on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see different things, different tweets from different people.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a tweet that was on somebody's page of Hebrews to Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the way the retweet process works. You don't even have to hit OK. You just hit the retweet button. And all it was an image. And he hit retweet and the image came on the screen. And the way that you're speaking at this point, with the whole maelstrom that he's been facing, it almost seems as though I'm getting the impression you believe he deserves it. And I asked you if you thought it was wrong, and you said no, but it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. And when you speak like that, what it sounds like to me is that you're encouraging censorship. We got a man that's being censored for something as simple as hitting the retweet button. And he's being censored and he's losing his income. All right. It was not even a part of the collective bargaining agreement. It was not against his job. But then what you're stating is that, it wasn't necessary. But it almost feels as though you would have preferred that he said nothing because you feel that people who are greater than him said it before. Well, guess what?
Why lose?
Wait, hold on a second. But guess what? Whatever him and Kanye did now, it's resonating louder and farther than the people that did it before. Why does that bother you?
That's not true.
It's not true.
No.
Did you hear anybody before talking what they talking now? Come on.
Yes. Man. Where you been, man?
Come on, man. Listen.
Where
I know
you
about
been?
H.Y. Brown, Stokely Carmichael. Come on, man. Look.
Listen, I'm talking about just in my generation alone.
Nobody, right. You talking about your generation.
I'm talking about. Wait a minute. First of all, wait a minute.
No. Hold on a second. First of all, I'm older than you. So
you're not.
About right
I'm
now.
52. You're not older than me.
Okay.
You're just 50.
All of those people. Okay.
You're just 50. I'm 52.
Look, you should have took it as a compliment because I thought you was younger. All right, old lady.
No, you're damn right. You're damn right.
Right. All of those
I'm mature and I have my years, and my years I take it seriously. But here's the thing:
my generation, people that you mentioned that resonate with us don't resonate with these young kids now. Those people and the young kids now ain't listening to those people who resonate.
So you're saying that it resonates to them, but now where has it gotten them?
First of all, okay,
nowhere.
I want to answer your
Now
question.
they've gotten
No,
everything
hold on.
snatched.
Let
That
me
doesn't make
answer your
sense.
question. Hold on. Let me answer your question. Okay? You said, where has it gotten them? They're just getting this message. This stuff has just started over the course of the last couple of months. And guess what? You want to hear something crazy? You got white people posting up on bridges talking about free Kanye and free Kyrie because they know what's going on. Okay? Remember, all of that stuff going on is not just something that black people were talking about. White people have been talking about it. Certain groups of people were cast out of certain countries at some point back in the days because of the knowledge. But people were not able to speak it out loud. Would you think these kids now that's listening to Jeezy and listening to all of these people, you think they give a shit about H-Rap Brown? They don't even know who that is. So what I'm saying is that the message...
But they should, and that's a damn shame that they
shoulda,
don't.
Coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, that's why they're making the same damn mistakes, because it's stupid. It's stupid. They're making the mistakes and they don't have to. It's stupid.
Listen, how you gonna expect these people that's inundated with everything they inundated to know about who the hell Stokely Carmichael is, who H-Rap Brown is, know Bobby Seale.
They know about everything else.
Know about the book Die Nigga Die and all of that stuff. That's the point is. So you expecting these young white kids
they're not supposed to know. They're not supposed to know because of why? Ain't
nobody talking about supposed to. Come on, now you're not being
supposed to know.
So
no, I'm being reasonable. That doesn't make sense.
Do you expect the middle class white child to know about goddamn Stokely Carmichael, H-Rap Brown?
We're not talking about white people.
But that's who I'm talking. That's what you're missing. That's who I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about them.
I'm talking
about our folks.
And that's the problem.
And I'm talking about our folks continuously making the mistakes. I'm talking about our folks who continuously making mistakes. And that we already know that I already knew if any of them were to say anything and talk any of that kind of stuff, I already know that they would try to get with them and try to break them down and things of that nature. We already know this.
Right.
And the thing is that they don't have to say it because we already know it.
But guess what? Here's what you're missing.
So now let's work on nation building and let's work on some other stuff and keep your money because we're gonna need your resources and we're going to need your capital and we're going to need we're gonna need those things and we're gonna need your intellectual, those that have the intellectual capacity. We're gonna need that. So why would you put yourself in a position to lose all of that for something that all of us already knew? Except for those people who don't. And you know who's the biggest culprits? The biggest culprits of this whole thing are Christian ministers who know this information and did not educate their own people. Those now you talking about hating somebody?
What does that have to do with Kanye and Kyrie?
I'm saying that these are young people who don't have to go through this if they knew their history, because they say, what do they say? If you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. They're repeating it and they don't have to. This is the information that they're talking about that they were so excited about. We've already known it. We already knew it. And the bottom line is
the new generation doesn't know it. Your generation knows it. Our generation knows it. This is the new generation. What are you doing to teach them?
There are a plethora of young people, younger people, that do know it.
Nah, you know what the young people right now? You know what the young people are doing?
The stuff that Kanye and the brothers and the sisters that I'm talking
to. Money, hoes, and clothes.
The brothers and sisters that I'm talking to, no, that's not how we get down.
Yeah, you talking the ones you talking to, they don't make the majority.
No,
they don't make the majority.
They're silent and they're moving up in a particular way, and they don't have to.
They're silent,
right? They're silent and they don't have to. They don't have to get approval from any white person, and they don't need to get approval from anybody and make some kind of a statement. Because
these two men didn't get approval.
Because these two men already know they don't need to be sacrificed. That's the problem. That's what I said earlier. They don't need to be sacrificed. That's the problem. and we as the elders should have told them, or
What do you
someone,
thought
some of
about
their
Malcolm?
brothers,
What do you thought
some
about
of their
Malcolm Martin
brothers,
and Medgar?
some of their brothers should have told them. But see, a lot of times their brothers ain't their brothers. They just have them out there acting stupid and talking stupid.
What do
They
you
don't
think
have
about
to.
Martin, Malcolm, and Medgar? Do you think they were
What
stupid?
about
Do
it?
you think they risked too
Oh,
much?
absolutely not. They definitely they risked a lot, but that was their journey though.
They shouldn't
That
have
was
been
them.
quiet.
Mm-mm.
So,
Oh,
so, so,
absolutely. They weren't quiet.
what
No,
makes their
definitely.
journey
They
different than
weren't
the
quiet.
others?
They weren't
What do you
quiet.
thought about Muhammad Ali?
Absolutely.
Because
He was
because
necessary.
wait,
He
hold on.
was
Okay,
I
so now
said he was necessary. No, not wait, and you asked me
because
the
who
question.
became rich?
He
He
was
got rich
necessary.
just like these two. What makes
Yeah.
him different
He
than
was
Kyrie
major.
and Kanye?
He was major.
So
Absolutely.
what makes him
It
different
doesn't.
than
It's the
Kanye and
time. It's
Kyrie?
the time. And if they learned
He gave up
from
his career.
if
He
they
stopped
learned
boxing for
from
3 years.
If they learned from Muhammad Ali, they would have learned that they don't have to go around saying the stuff that we know is inevitable. We already know it. Take your resources and
You
put it in
realize
other
back then
places.
people were saying that same shit to Muhammad? You realize
Yes,
that black people were saying that to Muhammad?
they,
Even though you talking about what he did was more important, you realize there was black people telling Medgar, Martin, Malcolm to shut up. Mohandas K. Gandhi telling them to shut up. There's people that
Mohandas Gandhi, he didn't say anything. What are you talking about? Mohandas was peaceful. He was peaceful.
He was peaceful. Yeah. So was Martin. Wait.
No, Martin wasn't at a certain point. At a certain point, he was not. Martin was not. At a certain point, he was not.
Martin was peaceful protest. Mohandas K. Gandhi was peaceful protest. Okay, I studied all of them. Mohandas K. Gandhi was peaceful protest. So what I'm stating, the thing that I'm stating to you is, it's you sound like those people that be like, Bill Russell and Larry Bird, those were the real ball players, when people now is talking about, Kobe versus Jordan versus LeBron. The whole point is, what you're stating is that
no,
these guys now,
definitely not.
You literally said what Kanye and Kyrie did was unnecessary.
No.
Do you realize?
Yeah.
No, that's what you said.
I did say that. No. I said that. No. I said that.
Was unnecessary.
I said it, and I will say it again. It is unnecessary. They didn't have to do it. Now, here's the thing. I don't agree with this person versus another. Everyone has their own journey, and that's just the bottom line. I think LeBron is excellent, and I love him. I love the things that he's doing, and he's moving, and he's clever. I think he's awesome. Not only that, he's putting his money in some other places, and he is investing, and he's doing some things, and he's doing some stuff, and I appreciate him.
What do you think about his response to the Kyrie situation?
I don't know, because I don't go into it, man, because I'm Nathan Builder.
He came because you.
I have not. No, I'm not.
I'm telling you, he came out and spoke out against Kyrie.
Okay, so what, am I supposed to be mad at him for that? No, that's his.
I didn't say that. I'm sharing some information that you may not have known. So tell me.
I just don't think that they should have said it. They don't have to say it.
What has LeBron did? What has LeBron done? Because remember, if you look at it, Kyrie retweeted, but LeBron actually did a rap song.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about rap. I'm not talking about a song. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about the money.
Because
I'm getting ready to tell you if you let me talk, because you're not letting me talk, and you can't overtalk me because I'm not that girl. Okay, I'm trying to tell you that LeBron, I know of his major investments. I know of some of the things and works that we're doing together with him and some investment companies, and I know of those things. I'm talking about various groups that we've gotten together. He's helped, as a matter of fact, he's helped my group with our stuff that we're doing in Harlem and in Brooklyn with our with those brownstones and what we're getting ready to do. I'm talking about nation building. Now, I want him to that's why I said with LeBron and Kobe, I'm not a Michael Jordan fan. Everyone knows it. Even Andrea knows it. I went to school with Michael. He was at University of North Carolina, and I was at A&T. I didn't care for him too much then. I'm not ever gonna get a pair of Jordans because I don't even wear sneakers. You're not gonna get me in the sneakers because I don't wear them. However, my whole thing is this. I do like the fact that he was enterprising and nation building. I have some questions about some other stuff, but there's some of that stuff is really, it's minuscule and none of my business. However, I do like what's Magic Johnson. There's a bunch of them that I really appreciate. And standing on some of their shoulders. Look, I want start nation building. You have the resources. We look to you to do various things, and we want you to do some things better with your children. And Shaq, I'm loving my man. I like Shaq. Now I know Shaq. And I know some personal things that he's done.
Now I wish you would have said all of this in the beginning. I wish you would have said all of this in the beginning, because then that would have saved me a lot of breath, right?
Okay.
It would have saved me a lot of breath, because let me help you out.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to share something with you that you probably didn't know, because Kyrie didn't do anything but hit the retweet button of a movie called Hebrews to Negroes, right? Hebrews to Negroes, right?
Yeah.
And he's facing all of this shit. And they asked him, is he anti-Semitic? Do you know what his answer was?
I don't know his answer. No.
Okay, so that's probably what. His answer was, if you understand what it means, you know that I couldn't be.
He's right.
That is correct. Because
that is absolutely correct.
Right. Okay. And that was the only thing that he said. All he did was hit the retweet button. And then now he's out of the freaking League 7 games. But what you're stating is that he didn't say anything anybody else said. He didn't say shit. That's the whole point. Hold on 1 second. He retweeted the poster of a movie, right? Called Hebrews to Negroes. And he went through all of this shit. Did you see when Shaq said, when him and Charles Barkley said, yeah, I'm surprised the NBA didn't suspend him earlier. They should have suspended him earlier, right? Shaq. No, I didn't. Yeah, he came out and said, so that's what it is. We arguing about some you may not be fully informed of. He came out and said they should have suspended Kyrie earlier. And he jumped on the bandwagon, right? Here's the kicker of all of this, the ironic kicker of all of this. Do you know that movie that Kyrie posted, that retweeted, do you know that Shaquille O'Neal premiered that movie at his fucking theater? Shaquille O'Neal owns a theater. Yeah, he owns a movie theater called Cityplex 12 in Newark, New Jersey. That's when Cory Booker was mayor, right? Right. Shaquille played more than one of those movies from that director at his theater. I could literally show you the flyer. That movie premiered at Shaq's theater. He played it. He utilized his venue to show that movie. So now when we talk about all of this and we talk about what happens, and what I'm seeing is that you may not be fully familiar with anything that Kyrie did. Kyrie did nothing but hit the retweet button for an image, and that was it. So he's collateral damage, basically. It's just they're using him for some reason. The whole concept of buck breaking. What you're looking at, I'm talking about Kanye. Listen, I don't know about Kyrie, but I'm talking about Kanye. Kanye, his rant. Buck breaking is any time they take a powerful black man that is powerful within resources, within notoriety, within community love and community resonance, and what they try to do is emasculate them. And how come they didn't take Shaq? How come they didn't take Shaq down? What do you mean? What does that mean? How come they? Because he's playing the game. You want to know? Shaq is tied up in business ventures with them.
Okay, so
Shaq,
my
wait. You asked me a question, so I want to answer. I want to answer fully.
The question is,
Shaq,
if he's
Shaq is
so
part
is,
owner of.
so is
Shaq
Kanye. But so is Kanye. He's not in business ventures with them.
Not with those. No, I could. That's what I'm saying. You want me to answer that question? I got the answer for you. Okay. Shaq is deep into business with the elite class. When I say deep into business with the elite class, Shaq is part owner of Elvis's likeness. Shaq is part owner of a lot of businesses because he is a minority investor in a particular company that owns people's names, likenesses, and estates and all of that. So he owns a lot. So when he'll get on, you say, if you Google Shaq owns Elvis and you read what it is, he owns a whole lot. He's tied in. He's locked in with those folks. Kanye from Jump Street, when he was on that thing, when he was talking about, you don't have all the answers, Sway. What he was doing was he was moving a different way. And he was making moves to compete against the high couture houses of Europe. He was trying to take it to a whole nother level, and he did take things to a whole nother level. But in terms of the battles, he went to places that he was able to make it into places nobody else was. You ever heard of a guy named Virgil Abloh?
No.
Virgil, you ever heard of Nike Off-White model sneakers? Virgil Abloh, he was the head of Louis Vuitton. Virgil Abloh was a Kanye protege. Virgil passed away this year of cancer, right? Rest in peace. Virgil Abloh was the first black man to be the head of Louis Vuitton, creative director of Louis Vuitton. Okay. First black man, and he was Kanye's protege. Okay. Kanye was able to get himself into places where no other black people, in the depths where no other black people were able to get. Kanye got bigger deals than Jordan. He got bigger deals than Jordan. Jordan had to get pieces of sneakers sold over the course of how many years? Kanye went to billions in only a few years. He was a maverick. Wait. He was a maverick. He didn't go and just get deals from other people. He actually wanted to distribute his own stuff, and he leveraged his own equity to make things happen. Right, but then
That's what I'm talking about.
Shaq is tied up with all of those people that we talking about. Shaq is tied up with that power class. That's why he was the first one to open his mouth. LeBron is tied up with that class. That's why the two of them was the first ones to open their mouth and talk down on on Kyrie. They talked down on him. For what?
Okay, so I have a question.
Neither one of them said anything that is pivotal to move our people forward.
Okay, well, I have a question then. Okay, so if Kanye did all this, and he knows the system, okay? So my point to this, if you know the system, then why, and you know that they're going to, the heavy is the hand, they're going to come at you. Why not just move in silence and do what you got to do to not to be in the system no more?
I can answer that. That's what you're doing right now. That's called slave talk.
Let's ask the question.
Hold on. I'm answering it. Answering it.
Okay.
What I'm saying, though, what you're doing is called slave talk. He made a calculated decision. That's what y'all don't realize.
Okay, so then don't
hold on. Let me answer.
Make a decision and move and keep it moving, and you don't need nobody's help. That's why I'm not supporting him.
Can I answer Andrea's question?
Yeah.
Answer Andrea's question. What I'm stating is it was a calculated move. You think he gives a shit?
He's erratic. It wasn't calculated. It was not. It was erratic.
Can I finish the point? I want to answer her question. You can tell me after I finish answering her question. You can disagree. It's all good. It was calculated. Why was it calculated? What's the point of having fuck you money if you can't say fuck you? Okay? He knew what he was doing. He's not speaking. That's the whole point. He knew what he was doing. There's people that will sacrifice certain things in order to get the point out. You saying that we needed his resources more. That's what I'm getting from TC. But in terms of you, Andrea, to answer your question, guess what? He knew. That's why he did it. You think he doesn't know what he's saying? He knows what he's saying. But guess what? What you two may not realize, okay, and I'm assuming the two of y'all don't realize it. What him and what Kanye and Kyrie did, they created a freaking groundswell where you got white people even defending the cause, talking about this is fucked up. What's going on? They on talking about white people, shitload of white people doing parades talking about Kanye was right. And the point is,
that's slave talk.
That's not slave talk. That's not
because the white people say he's right. That it was.
Let me finish, Andrea. Answering Andre's question. Where you miss it, where you doing right now, your answer shows that you doing slave talk. And I'm going to tell you why. I just stated to you that what he's doing is making an effect right now. But the thing is, I see you're not really entrenched in the press or the news of what's going on because it's creating a groundswell. Everybody's turning to their side right now. They're having the conversation. The whole conversation about is what they said right or not? And were they the first persons to say it? No. And people believe this and all of that stuff. So the point is, they are doing some shit that you not willing to do. You don't even want because you even said that it was unnecessary for Kanye and Kyrie to do what they did. Kyrie just hit a retweet.
Let me say something to you. I have been under the gun. I have been under the microscope. This is nothing new. All of us have been under the gun. Let me explain something to you. Now, you may not have, but I have. I always speak out. I don't believe in being censored or any of that stuff. Howsoever, my whole thing is I don't want to see any of the folks that are coming after me making the same mistakes that I made. Now, was what I did a mistake to me? No. However, I could have done things differently and it would have been more massive. It would have been more bigger, more better. However, the things that they're doing, that they're saying again, is there is nothing. Okay, so these young people need to hear it. Okay, now. You said there's a groundswell, so you're saying that there's a movement happening. Okay, that's great. All right, we'll see.
It's not we'll see. That's why I'm saying in terms of your response, what's going on is, like for instance, you weren't familiar with exactly what it was that Kanye did or said, right?
No, it was Kyrie. Kyrie.
Kyrie, pardon me.
Kyrie,
yeah. What Kyrie did or said, right? But you stated that you didn't believe that he was a buck being broken, right?
No, because I still don't believe that he's the buck. I don't.
So the thing is, in terms of the situation, I think it's going to be important for you to have a little more research or be a little bit more entrenched in terms of the news of what's going on. Because as it stands right now, Asada Shakur, Stokely Carmichael, Fred Hampton, H-Rap Brown, you know what I mean? Coltrane, listen, Coltrane, Shimaranga, all of these people, all of the high-end Black liberation leaders that we know of, those are your and my generation of OGs. You 52, I'm 50. Those are our generation of OGs. This generation know them, TC. The white kids of the children of rich white people don't know them. The middle class white kids don't know them. People don't know them. You know them. But all of them know Kanye.
But here's the thing.
Wait, you saying but hold on 1 second. All of them know Kanye. Peace, Mr. O. Right? Peace, Mika Marcel. All of them, and peace, Marcus. All of them know Kanye. All of them know Kyrie. They don't know H-Rap Brown, Asada Shakur, Stokely Carmichael. They don't know all of these people. So
they do.
Now you just making stuff up. The sound of now is going to resonate.
Listen, I'm getting ready to tell you. My black folks, you're absolutely right. The
You just
younger
talking about
ones,
black folks.
for some odd reason, I don't know why it is, but our black folks don't know. But the Caucasians, the Mexicans, the Asians that I'm around, and I'm talking about they for some odd reason they know about the Black Panthers. They know about the school programs. They know about Marcus Garvey. They know the history. Now, who's teaching it to them? I'm excited about it because I don't even know who's teaching it to these people. But they know, and then they have more questions. So then they ask me questions. My folks, when I ask them, they don't know. You talking about H. Brown, die nigga die, all that stuff. They don't know, and these are my folks. Now my family members, they gonna know. They don't have a choice. Okay, just Andrea, you know my girl Tazzy, she knows all of that, and she's 19 years old. Okay, now the bottom line is that I have found out that it is an unfortunate situation that our people don't know our history. But all the other people, the Asians, the Japanese, they study us unmercifully. So I agree with you. You're right. Our folks, they don't know our black men and our black women. They don't. Because a lot of things, if they knew, we wouldn't go through possibly wouldn't go through some of the same hardships. Maybe, possibly, maybe, I don't know. But again, I digress because I'm learning that because I have a flux of Afghanistani, Ukrainian, Mexicans that are coming in from other countries, don't speak English very well, and they are telling me and asking me about the black. They even like remember Public Enemy and Professor Griff and all of them. They know them. Very interesting. They know those people. One guy told me about what's that guy's name? The rapping the Watts Prophets and the Griots and all these other people. And I was like, how do y'all know these people? They said they study them. Are they rich? Absolutely not.
I don't know. Listen, I hear what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
Everything that you're saying to me, those are exceptions. Those are exceptions. And when I say those are exceptions, all right, if I was to go out and go to a stadium with 100, and then that stadium held 100,000 people, and I had 100,000 white people in there, and I named some of those leaders that we discussed, they would know Kanye West and Kyrie Irving before them. Now, you can sit and be like, oh, well, there's certain people that I met. Those are anecdotal exceptions, right? But here's what I'm going to do, because at this point, this is important. This particular conversation, because, you know, I'm taking the stream down, right? But this particular conversation, I'm actually going to clip it, and I want to extend this conversation out to other folks as well so that we can actually have a discussion on it. Because quite honestly, knowledge is power, information is power. And I sincerely believe that, you know, in terms of the discussion with you and I on this thing, I didn't realize until the end a particular piece. But one thing is that you didn't have a lot of knowledge on the issue. However, you did explain that both Shaq and LeBron, you know, you've had particular dealings with their organizations or foundations or charities, you know. So for me, I was
their investment groups.
Whichever one, you know what I mean? Because they do both invest in, you know, a lot of different initiatives and all of that. Yes. So the thing is, the point that I'm saying is that even you admittedly knowing that you don't have all of the information on the dynamic of what took place
with Kyrie.
Yeah, I'm talking about Kyrie, because the part with Kyrie, right? Kyrie and Shaq, that involves I mean, with Shaq and LeBron, that involves Kyrie because they both opened up their mouths. They both opened up their mouths when they shouldn't have said. Hold on a second. They both opened up their mouths when they shouldn't have said a damn thing. Okay, for one, what's his name? Shouldn't have said anything. LeBron shouldn't have said anything. That's your boy. Nobody asked him anything. He came out on his own and said something, and he shouldn't have said a damn thing. Shaq, he went and came out and said something. He complained that he was upset that Kyrie didn't get suspended earlier when Shaquille.
That's not right. That's not right. Chef, that's not right. The first person.
Can I finish?
Okay, go ahead.
Because I want to make sure this is the TC.
Okay.
He didn't do anything but tweet a freaking retweet a freaking something, a tweet that somebody put out. But Shaq actually played the movie and put the shit out in his own theater. But Shaq is the one that's opening his mouth. Shaq is the one that's opening his mouth. When he did more to promote this movie, he let it into his home. But then now all of a sudden, but what it is that he forgot that. He forgot that. When he was asking for the suspension, he was asking for the suspension of a black man. While UTC is saying that, oh, yeah, they shouldn't have, Kyrie and Kanye shouldn't have said a damn thing. It wasn't necessary because our previous civil rights leader said it before. The previous civil rights leader ain't doing nothing now. Name one. Name one.
Well, first of all, they're older and they don't need to.
BLM?
Who?
I said name one black civil rights leader that's doing something to move the narrative forward right now. Who? And I just said who? BLM? That was sarcastic. It was rhetorical, sarcastic question.
Because I'm not a BLM person. Nor me too.
But Chef, if you go to my page, if you want the person who was calling for Kyrie's suspension, his name is Charles Barkley. That's who started this bullshit. It was Charles first, and then Shaq commented because I got him.
So what? Shaq said something.
Hold on a minute. But Charles Barkley is the one who was on TNT saying he should have been suspended. My daughter is married to a Jewish man. He should have been suspended. It was Charles.
So what is your point?
What I'm saying was Charles Barkley is the person who called for Kyrie's head early. Okay, but this is the thing. This is the thing.
I'm not talking about, but you saying what you saying don't make no sense because
it does make sense.
But wait, I'm not talking about what Charles Barkley said. Charles Barkley married white women and all of that stuff. Ain't nobody worried about what Charles. I'm speaking about Shaq, Andrea. What Shaq said. Shaq said, I don't understand why they did not suspend him earlier. So I couldn't care less what Charles Barkley or Charles Barkley mama, the guy that does his goatee. I don't give a shit about that. I'm talking about Shaq. Why are you bringing somebody else in?
This is the thing. Okay, but this is the thing. When you say Shaq and LeBron is in business with them, this is why the question I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask this question because I think black folks have a problem with this question right here. Because if LeBron James was poor and didn't have no money, and now I'm in the NBA, I ain't about to lose my money over some bullshit that ain't that bullshit.
And you spoke, and that's yes, I get. Listen, yes, and I respect you. I respect what you're saying, and what you're doing is you're speaking to your character. Once you make a certain amount, Andrea, once you make a certain amount of money, you gonna stay in line and you gonna shut the fuck up.
I can move my money in different ways. LeBron James at school. LeBron James helping young people.
What does that have to do with what Kanye and Kyrie did, Andrea?
We
trying to make a point to this.
The point is, sometimes what I'm saying is, you said LeBron James spoke out. You know he's the face of the NBA. Of course, everybody want to know what he got to say. And I'm saying is, why he can't say in his mind saying, I can move in a different way. I don't have to speak out like this. All I'm saying is,
why? But do you realize that you realize he came out and said something about?
Yes, I heard he said something. Yes, I did hear he said something. But at the same time, is maybe I probably would have said the same damn thing. I don't
you
like.
Well, I know the kind of friend you are now. Thank you. Enough said. Enough said. Now I know the kind of friend you are. No. You know. I know the kind of friend you are. For it's gonna take a few bucks, and you're gonna serve me up to the man.
No, that's not true.
You want to make sure you keep your motherfucking few bucks.
That's not my little campus. That's not my little campus. But
that's not her journey. That's not Andrea. You know that's not Andrea.
That's what the Andrea that she's saying. So you can try and clean it up. Listen, that's the whole problem. You know what's funny?
That's the whole problem.
You know what the problem is? We got so many black
people. Andrea right here.
Somebody else already. You want LeBron James and everybody else to sacrifice when Kyrie is already.
LeBron James, nobody said nothing about it. Do you realize that LeBron James didn't have to say shit?
It's his choice.
He can say if he wants, but listen,
and he chose to say what he said. But listen, you know what? Mm-hmm. Man, I'm gonna clip the hell out of this shit, and we're gonna have, and we gonna hold on, and listen. I want to make sure I want both of y'all here, and I want to make sure that y'all keep that same energy. Because if you listen clearly, what I believe is what y'all talking is slave mentality.
Oh God, please. It's not slave.
Like a slave. The only thing you're talking about is the food, the resources. That's slave mentality.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
We're not talking about food.
When little John mama had three jobs and he played professional football now and he's taking his mama out the hood. I don't care who you are. If my son made it to the NFL and he took the family out the hood, he will take care of his family first and then the community. Damn the community, because the community wasn't there. The community wasn't there when he was going to them basketball games.
That means you raising him to be a slave. Yeah, that means you raising him to be a slave or being your caretaker.
That's that bullshit now.
Nope. But he's going to be a slave. And his slavery is going to be slavery of dealing with whatever. Hold on a second. It's going to be the slavery. It's going to be the slavery of him doing whatever the man says because he's getting the money. But then it's also an additional slavery from you, the people that you feel that he's supporting. And he's a slave to both of y'all, the man and to you, because you want him to shut the fuck up and don't even speak to the truth.
No.
What do you do to liberate our people?
What?
What do you do to liberate our people?
You liberate
I want you to name one civil rights leader from the 70s forward. Name one. No, not you. I said Andrea.
I don't know, and I ain't gonna be
funny. What are we talking about?
One bit because I don't know.
So you don't know about freedom fighters. You don't know about revolutionaries. You don't know about revolutionaries, right? Yeah, Coretta wanted Martin to stay home.
Oh,
Coretta wanted Martin to stay home and take care of the kids. Okay? Yeah.
She wanted her husband to spend time with her
she wanted
kids.
Malcolm home. She wanted Malcolm home.
Of course, they had children.
Malcolm home.
They had to sacrifice.
Hold on. Merle Evers. She wanted her husband Medgar home.
Okay. And they all
fighting for y'all.
They're all dead. They're all dead.
For y'all parents.
They're all dead. They're all dead now.
Exactly.
They're all dead. They have a sacrifice.
It was in vain.
Everybody
was in vain to have a 52-year-old black woman and a 48-year-old black woman talking about they dead now. So it was in vain.
No, it was vain, obviously.
What are you doing? You teaching niggas to shut up.
I'm not doing
That's
that.
That's exactly what you're doing. You teaching niggas to shut up and be
You can do it in a tactful way. You ain't gotta do it like
what do you mean tactful. Tell me tactful. Do you even know what tactful is? What do you mean doing it in a tactful way? What is tactful?
You don't have
what did Kyrie do that was not tactful?
You don't have to do the way they do it.
What did Kyrie do that was not tactful?
No, all I said was he didn't have
to talk this shit about Muhammad Ali. Did you talk this shit about Muhammad Ali? I could pull up Muhammad Ali interviews where he was saying shit that was crazy, crazier than what Kanye was saying. Do you think he was not tactful?
And Muhammad Ali, he lost 3 years of his boxing career, so he sacrificed too. Come on now, let's tell the truth.
Right, but he sacrificed for who? For some 52-year-old and 48-year-old women that don't even give a shit about it?
He sacrificed. Muhammad Ali sacrificed them 3 years of boxing.
Man, I'm gonna let the internet look. I'm gonna let the internet get y'all, yo. We finna clip this. But listen, here's what we gonna do.
Not everybody.
Wait. No. This conversation ain't over. This conversation ain't over. There was a lot that was said.
Everybody has to sacrifice. It's unfair that everybody has to be a part of the revolution. And all I'm saying is,
wait. You said that it's unfair that everybody. Everybody has to be part of the revolution. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying to you, like I said, like a LeBron James. I'm gonna use him as an example. If he wants to talk, that's his business. If he wants to not spend his money, that's his business. He has a right. He has an attitude. He has a cachet. You know why? He put the work in with the NBA. And damn it, it's my money. That's
Marcus. Hold on, Marcus, you good? This is what we doing. We hitting it up. I ain't been on this YouTube shit for a minute, bro. I've just been doing clips. So wait. Let me respond to Marcus real quick. Don't worry, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anybody try to step to Andrea, they would have a problem. So don't worry about that. This is real conversations. My conversations with Andrea, when we be on the phone, late night debates, they get heavy. So don't worry about that. Fam is fam. You get me? Right? So now.
Question.
So
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. When you say that you're going to clip this is for the internet or they're going to get us, I don't understand that.
Okay, I'll explain.
I mean, we're having
no. I want to explain. I want to help you understand, so you didn't take it the wrong way.
I'm having a discussion with you and Andrea, and that's my discussion with just you and Andrea.
Right. So hear me out. So when I came on tonight, I was going to play some clips. I was potentially going to talk a topic. There was actually another clip that was involving this particular conversation that I was going to pull up to play, but I didn't even have to because the conversation moved over to that area. So the only thing that I was going to do with this show, because I played a bunch of the shorts, gave everybody a preview of the shorts that's coming out in the next 2 weeks, right? I'm dropping one every day. And then we had this conversation. But what I think is important is the fact that the depth of this particular conversation, it was already supposed to happen. I did a stream called Endgame, right? Hypocrisy, Endgame. And that was the stream where I was talking about a lot of the facts. I know you didn't see it because the facts that I broke down to you today, TC, those were facts that I covered within that particular stream. Andre was there for that stream. And the next one was supposed to be Hypocrisy Town Hall, right? Which was going to be an invitational for anybody to come through for us to have a conversation on the issue. So tonight, it wasn't even supposed to go this deep. I was literally only jumping in for less than an hour, but we had a real conversation. And there was actual real content and a real debate. And I think it's a debate that needs to be had. It's not a debate that needs to be in secret. So when I say I'm clipping it up, what's going to happen is this particular conversation, I want to clip it because I want us to explore the conversation. I want us to explore it in depth. Yes, I'm a thinker. I may be an intellectual, but I have a day job as well. Brother's a little tired, so I want to make sure that this particular conversation is encapsulated in the best form necessary. And there's going to be questions that someone else may have of TC, someone else may have of Andrea, and vice versa. So when I say it, it's not like saying that, oh, I'm going to do this and the other. No. This is what we do here in content. So this is something that's a real debate. We've been talking about it for a couple of hours. So at this point, this is a real debate
with you and Andrea, and we can have a discourse and discussion. Everybody in YouTube land, number one, folks don't know me, and they don't know my estilo. They don't know me. Number one. Number two, I'm talking about Kanye. Kyrie is not new, but he's someone I don't know much about. But I'm talking about Kanye, and I was basically talking about them being bucks. I didn't think that they were bucks. But here's my other issue, and my other issue is that we're gonna have discussion, and we can always have a discussion. I can always call you. We can always talk, and we can always get up on the stream. But what I'm not going to do, I don't know any of these folks, and I'm not going to have them question me. They're not allowed to because they can't question me. You and Andrea know me, and y'all can.
But you're on so for the record, TC, you're on a platform, right? And I'm not somebody that sits and brags on what I have, but you're on a monetized platform, right? So if it's monetized, that means that I've gotten at least 4,000 watch hours in a particular time and over 1,000 subscribers, which means that at any point there's a potential for at least, where we have 1,560, Andre? So there's at least 1,560 people that can be watching this conversation right now.
And not a clip.
And, hold on a second. And we put links out there, right? So now what you're stating is that you don't want to be on a panel with anybody that you don't know. We remember, you got to remember, you are somebody I rock with, right? But hold on, you're somebody I rock with. So let's call
I said y'all can ask me questions.
So let's call you number one. Let's make believe you my first subscriber. There's 1,559 other people that watch my channel, right? And are hearing something that you're stating.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of what you're saying, you don't want to speak to that. There's times where we have a show going on, you ask for the link. I'll put the link out, and there's times you'll jump in.
Mm-hmm.
You'll debate with Dick, you'll debate with whoever's there, whatever the case may be. So what it is I'm trying to understand is when I say something like I'm going to clip it, and then I want to have a town hall debate on the discussion. If you feel a particular way about your argument and you stand on your argument, I'm trying to understand where that would be an issue.
The context. If it's clips that you're just showing, the folks don't understand the context.
No. I'm not just going to show clips. I'm literally going to play from when we started the conversation to where we arrived. So whatever content, I'm not going to be sitting there editing this, that, and the other, and making you look crazy and this, that, and the other. I'm literally going to clip from when we started the conversation to now, for instance, and utilize that as the opening entree for a town hall. Now, for the record, what that would do is, FYI, it wouldn't just bring people that disagree with you. It would bring people that disagree with me. It would bring people to the table that feel exactly the same way that you feel. Open debate, open town hall debate.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we do here on YouTube. It's having the conversation so that it's not just big head chef, the talking head. that's saying this or that or the other. It's actually the community speaking, town hall style. So, it is what it is. But as it stands right now, 5:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got to be in the office at 9. It is what it is. So I think it's important that we convene this particular conversation and reconvene at a bit of time. So today, right as we stand right now, is Wednesday. What I'm going to do is clip this down and remove the short previews that I did, and just leave this particular discussion because I think it's critical. And it's important because I'm supposed to have a town hall discussion, which is the secondary portion of that hypocrisy end game that I did. So for the 4 people that's watching, check my page out for hypocrisy end game, and you'll see, and of course check this out as well, and you'll be able to see what we're talking about.
Before you put it out, I'd like to see hypocrisy end game before, because I want to see what I'm connected to. Before the clip and everything goes out, I would appreciate being able to see the first thing that you did, because I didn't see it, what it means. You're on mute, I think.
Why are you worried about what you said on the stream?
I'm not. I just want to
tell him.
No,
so you stand on your word.
What I'm being connected to, I don't know what it was, so I just don't know what was said before. That's all. I know you understand.
But check it out. That particular video is actually a short video. You should check it out.
So
it's not even 15 minutes long. You should check it out. And the only thing that it's going to do is going to actually give you facts, and it's going to give you where my mind is at. You know what I'm saying? And I already delivered several facts from that particular video to you. You understand? But, stay tuned, y'all. So I'm about to shut this down because I'm tired as hell. So let me let TCHBCU Queen TV let y'all know what makes her a special, unique soul in this universe.
What's the name of it again? So I can check it out. Hello.
Yeah, it's called Hypocrisy Endgame. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, in the back chat as well.
Thank you. And as always, Andre, it's a pleasure. And to the chat, Marcus. Why? There we go.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you. Oh, you already said your stuff. All right.
Well, no, I was looking for the, you see you putting the clip in the...
Yeah, I'm about to send it. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right, here you go. I just put it into the chat.
It's in the chat. Okay. How come I don't?
I will say this.
There it is.
You see it? Hypocrisy
yes, got it.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a long video. But what I do recommend, right? And I'm giving you a hint that normally I shouldn't give. If you're going to debate me on a particular issue, you want to make sure that you have the pertinent facts, right? So I'm giving you that right there is a little teaser of some pertinent facts. Okay. But what I do know, and I'm fully confident in, is this. You're going to feel my gangster about what I'm talking about after you get those facts and you decide to go look in a little more. But I think as it is right now, because you did mention about your ties with Shaquille O'Neal and LeBron James, and those are financial ties.
Yeah, I don't.
Right. If you was a judge and one of them niggas was on trial, you would have to recuse yourself. So now when you're talking about something impacting all of our people, right? Mm-hmm. And you have potential financial proclivities connected to those people, at some point, you should also state your financial bias and preclude yourself from a particular standpoint. Because you took both of their sides, but didn't really know shit about what it was that Kyrie actually did. So
yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm
not even going to go make this for tomorrow or anything like that.
Here's the thing.
I'm going to give it a couple days to give you the opportunity to pull up.
Clips, and it was going to go internet, and it was like, it just sounded a little like malicious to me. That's why. And I'm like, I've never heard you sound that way before. And we've always had debates with each other. We've had bigger and harder debates than this. That's the reason why I was like, well, I don't understand what that means. And I want to know what it is that you did before that you're tying me into. And I don't know what it is. It's me. It's not any of my business ventures. It's me. And I don't know what it is that I'm being tied into, because I don't know, because I didn't see the ones before. So once I see it, then I can say to you that I don't want to be a part of the links and the clips and things of that nature, or I can say, go at it. But I can't say that because I've never seen it.
Listen. So let me just say this, and I understand where you're coming from, but let's say this. And this is with all due respect. Nobody victimizing you. We having a spirited discussion about a particular issue, right?
Right.
We having a pretty spirited discussion about a particular issue, and that's all that it is. You know what you say in the show. You know what I say in the show, okay? And so when I say I'm going to clip it, I don't even have to clip it. I can just walk away from the computer, and what happens is people could just watch the whole show. So when I tell you I'm going to clip it, don't take it as in a personal affront that I'm going to make you look funny. What I'm saying is that I'm going to clip off the exclusive stuff that I played for the people that tuned in tonight and just leave the rest of the conversation. Just like every single other conversation you and I have ever had, every other single conversation we've ever had is on YouTube. So I don't think that there's any reason for you to feel as though uneasy or anything. All I'm doing is not removing the stream.
You say it like that before. It was just different, Chef. And seriously, it was just different. The way you said it, man. I just was like, why would you say it like that? When we've always had this kind of, we always have good, strong, passionate discussion. I'm not scared of any kind of strong, passionate discussion, but it just sounded different. Oh, I can't wait, it's like maybe it's my.
You watch the channel. There's times when Andrea and I get into it and be like, oh man, I can't wait. Oh yeah, okay, that's the way you feel. Okay, when we get the next show, this is the way we talk over here. So there's nothing crazy. There's times we having the debate and you jump in and take Andrea's side. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You came onto my platform and you had a discussion with me. I'm not changing your words. You chose your words. I chose my words. Andrea chose her words. So ain't nobody editing to make you look crazy. It's a stream that we did, and we had a conversation. And I think that it's important that, especially when we're talking about the community, that it's not me, you, and Andrea having a discussion about the community. I think that we need more people from the community having that discussion
about people who say that they represent the community, like the Kanyes and the Kyries and stuff that happens to these people, and we're having commentary about it